nothing here. Let's head back to a warm fire.
Shut that foolish mouth of yours. You ever known McCullum to be wrong about anything?
No time I can remember. But I've only been part of the guard 3 weeks to the day.
All the more reason to shut it, Mr. Billy. If the man says a bloodsucker's dug in here, you've but one job, and that's to find it. And find it fast.
It's fair enough, Tom. But why do they hide where it's so damn...
Stupid! Over there! There's one of them vermin! Burn, vermin! Bloody leech! Christ! He's dead!
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy. This place reeks of bloodshed.
Oh my God, William. I can't stand it anymore.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William, please, stop. Let me go. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred
Sir,
spirit.
listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that Skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. For London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal. If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming. It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later. I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
Come on, you bastard! You can do now! It's my turn!
Rotten or crusty, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fight me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
To taste a life, to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital?
This hospital is not exactly the best.
It's more than enough. In any case, the person...
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brown...
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
This is no time for self-pity. It is the worst thing for patients. Come on, I don't have all night. I not want to make waste of my patients to attend.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
What?
You have a keen...
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
How is...
You want to hear the situation?
Are you really...
And why not?
But you're not...
You keep people...
So what do you do exactly?
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess.
Since you're...
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like...
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital. That's
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody... Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadigan fellow.
This is no time for self-pity.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse...
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfer.
I see.
You must know.
How are...
Not...
And
Sorry, Doc.
do you think...
We are all volunteers.
I'm not familiar.
Brilliant professional.
Most of them.
It would be in...
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone...
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair...
Nurse Brannigan.
No. I may disagree.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you.
If you're suggesting...
Goodbye, nurse. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening.
Your name...
I beg you.
What do you beg?
You keep...
Well,
And what...
I don't need...
Please.
I can... Never...
It's a...
Delusion.
I'm assuming...
It's only...
This...
I'm not...
I see.
Thank you.
Who are these
I can...
Who are you?
Is that not...
I'm...
Most...
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
If only there were more of them, less resignation and more determination.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before Cain.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently
You guessed right, Doc.
How is your step?
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you
It's the pain, sir.
Can I do it?
Nurses.
Who is
Nobody's.
You don't see
my face.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you.
She's quite harmless.
So do you let her bite you?
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood.
She could decide to bite less willing.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's
in her madness. She never refers to my scar.
Where were you? No offense.
You were an officer.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Disgust on every street corner.
Nowadays.
Daily.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful...
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps.
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did...
I had received...
Why did...
William, what?
You did...
I'm just a...
Do you know...
Tom? Yes, of course. Oh.
People are still...
How could it be?
Who should...
Not really.
What is the general situation?
The situation has always...
Has the gang...
Ah, no.
Who leads...
Since Clay...
What do you do for...
I manage a night.
Are you...
Not at all.
Why didn't you use your...
That's a very strange...
How do you...
I feel it.
You're in good hand.
Thank you, sir.
Have you...
Not really.
You never...
You're preaching.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
The daily routine.
I wonder why the Goswicks came here in the first place.
We may lack the resources.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to Dr. Reed. Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland. Dr. Thoreau Please, could you... I'm a great admirer of your work concerning...
What made you choose to be...
I'm not ashamed to admit...
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors...
I based my technique on...
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced...
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood trans...
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my...
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh, no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. You seem quite
convinced that the
questions remain true. Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him. What a fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient.
Tell me...
Our first diagnosis...
But why would he hide?
Because he is a proud father.
This personal involvement could also...
I agree.
Do you think keeping his distance...
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
How long must I wait, damn it?
Good evening, sir.
Reed? Yes, I've been in...
Does my arrival
Let us just say...
Tell me, Waverley, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Ackroyd. I'm trusting your judgment on this.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland...
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. but I will never...
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than...
Let's just say I'm tired of the...
Carelessness? Exactly what?
We're here to save lives. The people...
I don't intend to run any radical...
Modern medical methods were created through...
If you have a problem...
Dr. Swansea has imposed...
I know we've never met, but...
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Oh.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but...
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but you're...
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war, just like you.
Be careful what you insinuate, Doctor.
I only want you to admit you used those...
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved...
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
It seems you have...
I refuse to see this...
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr...
I don't know if a third opinion...
I see.
I'm Harvey...
Tell me...
My wife died because of me. And now I may...
How could your job...
I was working...
You can't...
Of course...
Tell me more about the death of your wife.
1915.
What happened? I'm sorry.
I would like...
How are your...
They were small...
Tell me.
I'm just a
I was more...
I'm a cop.
Well, I won't...
Are you sure?
In other Tell me...
Strickland.
What do you...
I often...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Still more coming. How can we be sure? Making a difference.
Last week.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. And...
You seem worried about the safety...
I cannot give up on my children now.
What about their mother?
If she died in 1915 during...
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
All I wanted was to go back to work, to take care of my children.